In previous videos, we learned how to add an individual and how to view our family tree. Today, I want to zoom in and focus on what information is on the individual view, the view where you can see information about one specific person. Let's go check it out. All right, here on the Family Search page, I'm going to view an individual. There are lots of ways to get to an individual, but I want this individual to be within my family tree. So I'm going to come up here to Family Tree and click on Tree. So once that page comes up, you'll see a fan chart right here. And what I want to do is I want to view the individual page for John Archibald McAllister right here. So what I'm going to do is just click on his name. And when I do that, it pulls up this little box right here with information about him, such as his birth date and death date, sources, memories, and a link to collaborate. There's also a link to tree and to person. I'm going to click on the person link right there. And what that's done has pulled up a detailed page about John Archibald McAllister. A few things to note on this page. Up here at the top, you'll see his name and his photo. You can go ahead and change the photo if you want, if you have one that you think would fit there better. You can see his birth date and death date. You can see his Family Search ID. And one thing to note, if you need this ID for something, all you need to do is click on it, and then it will automatically copy it for you. So a few other things to know. You can see that if you click here, you'll be able to view his tree. If I click on View Relationship, I'll be able to see how I am related to John Archibald McAllister. And I can click on Follow so that I can see any changes or updates that are made to John Archibald McAllister. In this page as well, there are multiple different sections. There's About, Details, Sources, Collaborate, Memories, and Timeline. Right now we are on the Details section. I just want to show you a few things on the details. You have the vitals, which shows the name, birth date, death date, information like that. If you want, you can click on the detail view and it will show you who made changes last to that information. You can scroll down here and you can see there's a section for alternate names. There's an events section that talks about things like their baptism, that's a custom event, or residence, or immigration, or religious affiliation, things like that, that you can see that are events within that person's life. Then here is the family member section. You can see right here is John Archibald McAllister, and here is his wife, Clarissa Caroline Snow, and his parents. There's his dad and his mom. And then down below, you can also see his children and his siblings also. And if you want to go to any of those people, all you need to do is just click on their name and then come over and click on person, and it will take you to that person's individual page. In addition, you can see right here it says show all family members. You can toggle that off and you can see that it made the children and the siblings disappear. Over here on the right are a few more things that are helpful. Here in the top right, you have research help. This will be things that Family Search finds for you that they think might be helpful. For example, a census record or a death certificate or an obituary, things like that they show you and list here to help you in your research. Here you can search records. If you just click on one of these, so for example, if I click on Family Search, it'll open up a new tab and it did a search for John Archibald McAllister within Family Search. I'm going to go back to the other tab here. You can search other websites as well. Let me just show you what happens. If you click on Ancestry, it'll tell you that it's taking you to another website. In a future video, I'll show you how those who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints can get free access to some websites like Ancestry.com. I'm just going to click Cancel there. Another thing that it helps you with is if you want to do a Google search, you can just click on Google and enter in the information that you want to search for in Google and just hit search, and it will do a Google search for you. I'm going to close that out. Here you have notes that people have made about the individual, and I'll show you in just a moment where else you can find these same notes. In addition, you can see the latest changes to a person, And there's a tools section here that you can go ahead and explore in there. One thing to note is the possible duplicates and merge by ID. Sometimes those may come in handy. Okay, back up here to the top. We've just focused on details. I want to show you about. The about page is really kind of cool if you want to get to know a little bit about an individual. There's a brief life history that they write up kind of automatically. It lists their spouse and children. This section right here is photos and memories. A section with sources, parents and siblings. There's a story highlight here of his mother. And then over here on the right is a timeline. And that's the same timeline that appears right here on this tab. I'll show you here in a moment. You can also see learn the meaning of your ancestor's name. Maybe you find out what their last name means, or just click on their first name or their middle name and learn what each of those mean. Okay, so back up here at the top, we have the sources section. And within sources, it shows you all the evidence that exists for this person. And some people won't have any sources. Some will have several, like this one right here. He has 33 different sources. That's quite a few sources. But that's how you can prove the information that you add to Familysearch. So if you add data from a census record, then you can go ahead and list that that was the source that you got your data from. Sources are very helpful in keeping things accurate within Familysearch. You can see on this source right here, if I just click on it, then it'll tell me a few things. It's a christening. You can see right here, event type christening for John McAllister. It lists his parents' names and where that was. Things like that to help prove that this is the right John Archibald McAllister. So up here at the back at the top, I'm on Collaborate next. So Collaborate is kind of fun. If you want to communicate with others, the research and the things happening that you know about a person, come over here to Collaborate and then go ahead and add a note. Say you found out something interesting about John Archibald McAllister, you could add a little note about that right here. You can see that this person wrote about the ship that John Archibald McAllister came over on. There's also a section down here for discussion where you could write questions to have a discussion with other people, like, maybe there is a child missing in the family or things like that. You could have a discussion with others in that section. Next, we have the memories section. And this is where you can view photos and documents, listen to audio files, and even upload them yourself for your ancestors. And I'll go over the memories section in another video. And then very last, we have the timeline. The timeline is kind of fun because you're able to see what happened in an ancestor's lifetime. So you can see when they were born, information about siblings, but also world events. For example, this one in 1859, Spain declared war on the Moors in Morocco, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln and all that. So it shows not only personal events, but worldwide events in that person's life. In addition, you can look over here and there is a map that shows where some of those events happened. I'm going to zoom out here so you can see that there's events that happened in the United Kingdom and the United States. And you can click here on one of the numbers and it'll zoom you in even closer and it'll take you right to what event happened. So this one's saying the Summer Olympic Games were hosted in St. Louis, Missouri. And so you can see different events that happened there, and you can zoom back out again and continue to view the things on a person's timeline. So there you go. That is the individual view within Familysearch. Hopefully you found that helpful and maybe even learned something new. If so, hit that like button below and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming content about Familysearch.